In what capacity did you request to see the result sheets?
I went to the boy, the presiding officer, the presiding officer. He told me.
No,
I said,
I know you went. You've said it.
As a voter.
As a voter.
Yes.
But you
then there and then I called
Could you
the
hang
supervisor.
on? Just hang on a minute. Did you hear, or are you aware that INEC says no voter has the right to go to the polling unit and demand to see the result sheets?
INEC said, or the law said. No, let me ask you, excuse me. Is it a law that I should not know? I should not be able to be told my fate? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether I don't know what you think about the voter.
So every voter.
The voter has a right to know what he's voting for, to know whether his vote will count or not. Because we are talking that every vote counts.
Are you aware or have you heard that INEC says, we did ask them pointedly.
INEC did not write us to that effect. Okay, let me take this from the angle.
It means you're not aware.
They didn't write us to that effect.
Okay, so you don't think it's improper that voters should go to the polling? Imagine that, for instance, and I know that actually caused trouble in many areas because of this controversy as to whether or not result sheets were present during the presidential election as a manner of just to increase transparency and to increase confidence. INEC officials perhaps were instructed to ensure that they display the sheets, they show it just before voting or accreditation commences. They did that in some areas.
But what do you do?
Just a moment, sir. In some areas where it was not done, I beg your pardon, where it had been done, you still had voters coming in to say, we haven't seen the result sheet. Can we see it? And then they're told they've shown it already. But in some areas, it still caused trouble. Violence still broke out over, whether or not INEC officials had shown this. Do you really think that this result sheet brouhaha is necessary?
Okay, every party has an agent. Mm-hmm. If you come into a voting unit and your agent said, we have cited this, you don't need to request for it.
So you think that your agent's word should be good enough for
you?
you?
Mean I will act out of ignorance, I will come there?
I'm asking, I'm saying that
no,
if your agent had seen it and you didn't see it, will his word have been good enough for you?
Yes, if my agent said you have cited it, why is he your agent?
That's the question. So why is it that you didn't go through your agent to ask him to cite the sheet on your behalf? Because if you
concluding I did not go through the agent, or you are asking me if I ask the agent, I can listen. Excuse me.
You just said you did it as a voter.
I said we came there. The agent is there. If they come in and show the agent and whoever they are there, because the time they start voting or accreditation, your agent ought to be there. Mm-hmm. And the agent was there. And the agent said, okay, voters for this, we have seen this. You are satisfied.
Okay. Okay, that's on one end. Now, the question is, I was listening to your submission and you said that you are not asking, for you both the other parties are claiming that they won. You are not claiming that you won. You are just saying display the results. It would seem that just a moment.
Yes.
For you, these elections are a popularity test.
Yes.
That's what they are.
Sure.
You're not exactly in the race to win.
No. You got me wrong. I said, let them bring the authentic result because we want from the real vote cast field by field, unit to unit by voters. We did not manufacture votes. We did not buy votes.
Did you say you won?
Yes.
Okay. So you are not claiming, but you said you are not claiming that you won.
I said from what they wrote. I hope you're getting me. I said we are not interested in what they wrote. We are not laying claim to what they wrote that we won there. We still bring out the real vote cast, field by field, unit by unit, card reader producing. This is the authentic this thing here.
Do you have a copy of the real one? The one you're talking about?
I'm not here to produce it, but when we get to that, we know what to
do. I'm not
saying
we
are waiting for them.
No, I want to ask you to produce it. Do you have a copy of it?
We have both on our booth-to-booth results. We have them, and we are gathering them together to tell the world what happened in Abia.
So based on your booth results, you won the elections in Abia State?
I have said that, and I'm not afraid of it.
I know.
Legitimate vote cast. Yes,
I'm sorry. I really need.
Just told us that the elections didn't hold.
Yeah.
No, I hope you get me. Huh?
Because I'm confused. Maybe you have to make me get you. Because
if based on
me elections didn't
no, I
hold.
didn't tell you election didn't hold.
You said so.
At
the beginning.
I
we
said,
can play that back.
as far as we are
Elections didn't hold.
concerned, there was no election based on this result they are displaying. Why? Let me take, for example, some wards. Wherever you go, many wards, like Ward 3 in my local government, there was no election at all. And when they came out, they submitted a result to INEC. I hope you're getting me.
Okay, so in
Most of these places, I'm coming.
For Ward 3,
Yes.
where elections didn't hold, they
Yes.
got results.
Good. Now you come in again. Many places the result sheets were not there. While the field people were still in the field, a result was still being submitted and cooked in the offices as the. But maybe you might not know the practicality of the situation in Abia. I hope you're getting me. And we have made it clear. If you think you are more popular than the APC, if you think you won the election, let's go for a free and fair election. Everybody observing us.
After you said you won, you want a free and fair election.
If the authentic field output.
Okay, let me rephrase it this way. Maybe that's what you're saying. Correct me if I'm wrong. You say, based on the results they released, there was no election.
Yeah.
But based on the results you have,
Yes.
you won.
Yes.
What figures do you have?
And I've told you that something you're using for a matter, you don't get that.
No, not breakdown.
No, don't worry. What we know is that we'll publish it and give you copies. Because, like I told you, we are collecting all our results. And from what we have collected so far, we are very, very confident and we are very happy about it.
You're still collating elections of April 11th, today, 23rd.
Excuse me, what happened is this. Most places, when people vote, their agents bring in your results. And we have given it to our team to articulate the entire results. Because we don't want to make any mistake of laying this false claim as being laid as at the moment. I hope you're getting me.
What's the false claim again?
Is it?
The false claim.
The first claim is that the figures that are rising. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay. No,
Can you get this picture now? Do you know that initially the return officer announced the cancellation of 3 local governments? All of a sudden, they now brought those results back. And when they brought those results back, even one of them right now is not part of the so-called supplementary election. They now said, okay, they are doing supplementary based on some units. While initially the return officer make a pronouncement and still retrieve it back.
Okay, so you're on the same page with APGA concerning that, concerning their concerns that you cannot announce something and take it back.
Good. That is one position.
I'm asking you.
That's one position we share, but our position is clear. That position is that the entire exercise was marked by irregularity as published by INEC. And based on that contradiction that come from INEC already, whatever INEC has or brings out, we cannot have confidence in it.
Okay. But if you're asking for the rerun of the exercise, you are aware that it's this same INEC that would still conduct the exercise.
But that time, at least more concern, more information, you might be there to be sure something is going on well.
Okay, now I'm just a little curious. This is asking this question with due respect to you and your party, and also without prejudice to all that you've said so far. I'm just a little curious. You were aware when the two of the parties in Abia State were bringing out their candidates, and if you had asked the average person who was watching, maybe outside Abia, they most likely would have told you that this is essentially a 2-horse race, and that your candidate, for the life of me, not a lot of people know the name of your candidate in Abia State.
Thank you. For my candidate, the question is not that.
Are you aware of that?
The question is the 2 parties were in PDP. The only constraint APC had in the Southeast is very clear.
What's the constraint?
That constraint was that the Southeast was pro-President Jonathan. Are you getting me? What we did, if you want to know, ask them what happened when we started registration, membership registration. You see the push, you see the excitement, because Abians needed a change. Even the entire Southeast, the whole thing that affected them was a little bit...
Was your candidate also hampered by finance?
By finance.
In the sense that, you know, publicity was also quite scarce in terms of, you know, making sure that your candidate's campaigns were also heard. At least outside. Maybe the campaigns were done within Abia State, but I'm just a little curious for those of us who do not live in Abia State and those, you know, who live outside.
Whom do you campaign to?
Perhaps there are Abians living in other
parts. This is one misconception that we do have in this country.
So you're saying that the people who are going to vote...
You campaigned within the state.
And that
you campaigned in the media houses within the state. Any other thing you are doing here is part of the show now, maybe possibly because we encourage everybody wherever you live, cast your vote there. Because that's where you pay your tax.
Okay.
So the idea of running down to Lagos, running to Abuja to do his jingle there is, for me, is misplaced popularity.
So indeed you had a candidate in this election.
A beautiful candidate that had the best credential for this race.
Have you heard that the PDP says, the PDP candidate, in fact the PDP wants INEC to declare their candidate winner of these elections based on the results released by INEC so far?
Maybe you want to get me back to where we started. Listen, what is happening in Abia is a drama. What is happening in Abia is a vote of no confidence on the electoral body. There has been a lot of contradictions. There has been a lot of issues that even might make the Guinness Book of Records in election management. So for that, everybody has a right within the state, even those whose party's name did not come out. What
figures are we going to publish in this Guinness books now? Because you're not giving us the figures.
I'm not talking about figures.
That you say you won with.
No,
you say you won.
Listen, excuse me.
That's what you said.
Yes, the party position is that we are preparing our matters, and there are things that are not left except where they are.
But let's get the party position. Let's get the party position.
So on the person claiming to have won.
Let me put this before you respond further.
Yes.
Before you talk about the person who claims to have won. What's the party position about the governorship elections that has been declared inconclusive, where the supplementary elections will hold?
The party position is that either we are declared or there should be outright cancellation of the election. Because there were a lot of malpractices.
Sorry, either you are declared what?
To have won the election.
Based on what?
Based on the authentic figure that came out of the field, which we have gathered, and which we know that INEC knows the true things that came from the field in areas the elections took places.
Yeah, but what is this figure?
The figure is going to be announced by me. If I announce the figure, I'll be taking responsibility of INEC. We told INEC, come and get the authentic from the areas.
INEC has announced the figure.
What INEC announced are the figures they manufactured. Depends on which of the INEC that is working for which of the parties among the two gladiators.